Hello all and welcome to another episode of Quiet in the Library. I'm your host, Reggie. Today we're going to be getting into a few more chapters of the Chronicon, specifically dealing with more interesting facts that Scribe Shagak has for us. Let's get into it. After the fall of his shadows, the great Emperor Calus, master of celebrations, patron of festivity, stood in the throne room of his great ship. The Golden King's shining, mottled brow was furrowed with a deep melancholy, and the beauty of his face was marred by a frown. Dominus Gaul, the Ghost Primus, the usurper, lived, while the mightiest of his shadows, his chosen killers, his zenith champions, were dead. When approached by one of his advisors, who hoped to console the emperor held up his great hand and said, bewildered, "I have failed them. I have been chosen to bring forth the end of the world, and I set my sights so low as petty revenge. My enemies deserve to suffer and fall for their treachery. But my shadows were meant for something greater than the violent end I sent them to. They have been ruined, just like my beloved empire." Here his advisors rushed eagerly to reassure him, troubling him with offers of wine or food or false words of comfort, but the great emperor was not moved. What they asked timidly of the rest of his shadows, those who had not gone to fight Gaul, they still lived. "No, I have ruined them. All of them," the great emperor whispered. "I've spoiled the whole batch." So perplexed was the emperor by the failure of his shadows that he spent many hours meditating with his advisors on what happened. His advisors made many misguided attempts to soothe him, fearful that wrath lay below the calm surface of his demeanor. On one such day, the emperor met with his advisors, Tulugar and Ahlali, who clumsily derided Gaul's crude brutality in hopes of cheering him. Spake the generous and compassionate emperor, "Gaul has risen above his own past. That, at least, is admirable. Ahlali, do you think, after all I've seen, I am heartbroken by such a tiny thing as failure? No, I am weary. I have combed this whole universe for someone who truly merits a seat at my table. Just one creature who might partially comprehend the gravity of my mission. One creature brave enough to test their might and their mind on me. One creature worthy of supping on my perfect flesh. And I have not found them." As the emperor spoke to his cringing advisors, his beautiful face smooth with a preternatural calm, a messenger ran into the room to address him, bowing contritely and begging his forgiveness. Crawling across the floor in supplication, the messenger announced that Dominus Gaul had been killed in the Sol system by a person of the Guardian tribe. At this, I myself saw a renewed light spark in the emperor's eyes, and saw his face light up like a sun. "Find them," he told the messenger. "Find me this hero, and we will go to them." He turned to Glurog and instructed him to set a course for the Sol system. Then he commanded Ilhali to prepare his other automatons, the robotic creations made in the likeness of the great emperor, which were built so that his joyful majesty might be able to wash himself in many unique situations. The emperor did not specify why the automatons should be prepared, but there was such joy in his voice that his advisors made no objections. What follows is an unsent letter to the hero of the Guardian tribe, dictated by the great Emperor Calus. "Ah, Lightborn, what a joy it has been to watch you. When I invited you aboard my Leviathan the first time, it was an exceptional pleasure to see you go through a test I had designed myself. It was uniquely suited to your talents. I would later realize, though, that wasn't my intention. Just a happy trick of fate that the talents I sought were those that you possess. When you shot the cup from my automaton's hand, ah, Guardian, my soul lit up with longing. And when my beautiful ship was invaded, twice, in fact, by the Vexmine Argos and later by the hateful Valkaor, these visits were not so predictable. You navigated the dangerous particularities of my lovely home with such grace, enthusiasm. More than anything else, that delighted me, your enthusiasm for a challenge. Watching you leap nimbly through my reactor, seeing you lead your team in perfect synchrony against the jealous Valkaor. How it all tickled me. These exploits drew me to you. They inspired me to fashion you a chalice of your very own, that you might drink deeply of my royal blood and be enriched. And I knew the attraction was mutual, for you leapt head first into my menagerie. You took my every gift. You answered my every challenge. The day you gallantly slew Galran, golden chalice in hand, that was the day I truly knew we were meant to be together. I am ensnared by you, Guardian. I wish to possess you as my own until the end of existence. Thanks all for listening. We truly do appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe, whether that's on Apple Music or Spotify or wherever you're listening to on this particular podcast. We truly do appreciate it. And please follow up with us on our Twitter as well, QTIL07. Hope y'all have a great day, and I'll see you next time.